Hi and welcome to our rtcStats Live, where we show every month what we've done with rtcStats and the project. We tried doing this last week, didn't succeed. Hotel rooms are not that good for internet connection. And today we don't have Olivier with us. He's got some other things to do. The good thing though is that we actually have more things to show simply because we got more things done to the upcoming release that we have. In a few days it will be out there. So I want to start showing what's coming. And that's going to be a new score that we're adding, a new experience score that we have. Let's do this. So this is a dashboard of rtcStats. It looks at the Microsoft Teams call. Doesn't really matter what we're seeing here in terms of the type of a call, but what you can see are 4 score numbers that we now have on each and every file that gets uploaded. What we do is we calculate MOS score for audio score, something similar to MOS score for video. Then we have a new connectivity score, which is a kind of a score that looks to try and measure how well the connection is. Is it using TCP or UDP? Is it stable or not? Things like that. And then last but not least, we have the total experience score. The experience score takes into account all of the other scores, so it's like an aggregate of audio, video, and connectivity, and the observations, the things that we found that were interesting in the file and you should be aware of, everything weighted based on what needs to happen there. So now we can look at the experience score and based on that, decide what to do with a session or how to approach analyzing large batches of data. So that's the first thing that we've had. Another thing that was added in this release includes this thing that is not going to be available in upcoming release and maybe not in the following one. This looks at the different observations. Here we only have 22. There are others that have more or a bit less, and it tells you in which areas these observations belong to. So in this case, it's connectivity and network. And then the file that I have here, it's a lot more varied. For example, here we've got CPU as the main one. We're looking at compute pressure issues, and then connectivity, outbound, and video. These are the main things that we can find in this file across different types of observations. So that type of information is information that gives you a lot more data and insights on the files that we have. An interesting one that we have here is a new observation, let's find it, around compute pressure. Philip, you want to explain that a bit?
Yes, so there is this compute pressure API in Chrome that basically gives you feedback about how loaded the CPU is, and that's the overall CPU usage, not just the encode time and decode time. It's global. And it tells you if the CPU is loaded. It tells you that as an event. And our rtcStats JavaScript SDK in an upcoming release is going to send that to rtcStats server, which generates a dump. And then we can import that into rtcstats.com, and we show it there.
So we already have observations for it, and we're going to add the charts around that as well, not in this release, in the following one.
Yes, because it is a timeline of events, and that makes sense to look at like get stats.
There's one more thing about the scores that I want to show you, and that's the fact that if I go, for example, to the connections tab, each connection has its own score written here. So we calculate that per connection. We also have a new role for the connection, so we provide that as additional information now. Is that only a publisher, a subscriber, or pub sub event, or a data channel only? So again, you don't need to go and dive into this. You'll see that immediately when you open the page.
Yes, and you can find the right connection.
Yes. On the streams, again, we've got the scores here for audio and video, and we can see that the video ones here are the ones that we need to look at. You can also see that we changed the line. It's now not always blue. There are also parts where you'll see this yellow, which means that there's poor MOS score in these areas. Again, something that you can look at and investigate. And the gray areas are the parts where there is a connection or a media stream, but it is not being used. Nothing is sent or received in this period of time. So again, what we're trying to achieve here is to make it as easy as possible to use the system and to figure out what goes wrong and what happened in the actual session. Other tidbits in this release are the ability to add tags. We have our tags of our own that you can add to files, and then also custom tags that you can add. And if you're going to go to the list of files that you have, you can filter based on that tags, making it easier to use. There's also a place to put a description for the file if you want to, and explain things that happened there. Things that are not here and still interesting include the knowledge base. So in the knowledge base now, we actually have more than just the metrics, but also things like how to get started with the platform, best practices of using it and integrating it, different ways to collaborate, and other articles that you'll find here. So go check things as you need them. Another very important thing that we added into the integrations is the ability to use an API. We finally have an official API where you can upload files, analyze files, and also use MCP for your AI service that you are using.
Yes, and the upload API is integrated into rtcStats servers. So you can upload a certain percentage of files or something like that.
So now it's like I can take rtcStats server, the open source piece, install it on my own machines, add the API key from rtcstats.com, and automatically the configurable amount of files that I want would go directly there.
Yes.
Okay. Any other interesting things on rtcstats server that are coming up?
Lots of new features that are integrated back from the old 2015 release.
Mm-hmm.
The configuration location is going to change in an upcoming version, and that might be a breaking change, but it shouldn't be usually.
Okay. So I guess that's it for this month. We've done a lot of work this time, and we've made the platform so that it is the best on the market. So come check us out and use rtcStats, either with or without our commercial service. Thank you.
Thank you.